Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, another big night coming your way tonight, although not as big as others, no special guests, just three of us absolutely talking rubbish tonight.
Bit of a boring one tonight.
No, we wanted to keep it boring tonight, just for something different. We've had, third show back for the season.
Well, we peaked too early with Product of the Week last week, so...
Adam Ring, welcome.
Thank you.
we got a lot of good feedback.
Yep.
And a lot more bad feedback on that one, so... Anyway, it wasn't a bad show. Cracking weather, except for the storms today.
In parts.
Yeah, but it's, we're in that, hopefully we'll get a bit. This weekend's coming good.
And the tuna are not going anywhere.
No, you wouldn't think so, except
in the esky.
Yeah. We're going to talk about your Stephen, hang on, let me introduce you properly. Welcome, Stephen Victor Trelful.
Oh, thank you very much.
You had a taste of tuna fishing last week, didn't you?
I did. I get seasick pretty bad.
Yep.
And
did you get crook?
Yeah, I was crook, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
But I'm like, if I'm going to go, you just got to make up your mind and go, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. My record's 21 spews in one day.
Did you get close?
No.
Was that on the Gambie or the Golden River?
Wellspool. It was down off Wellspool, actually.
Was it?
But the tuna was great. Yeah, sorry.
Did you throw up on the weekend?
No, I didn't.
Sorry, last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah.
It was straight after the show because I had to sort of prep my head for fishing on the high seas, which was probably low seas to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Looked like a mill pond in the photos. But anyway. So you went out there. How far did you go out before you started putting the lures in?
Well, I'm not too sure because it was all foggy. Couldn't see anything. So I couldn't see land.
What about in minutes? Could you tell us in minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes out the river.
So it wasn't far.
No.
Honestly, it wasn't far.
Put the lures in.
Put lures in.
We're going to talk about this trip later on, so don't give too much detail.
Yeah, put lures in. Away we went. Caught fish.
Got tuna.
Got tuna.
Someone was watching you too.
I couldn't have been. Who was watching? It was foggy.
What? Couldn't see another boat?
Couldn't see another boat.
Was it really that foggy? We've had a bit of that. I mean, I went out Saturday morning on the tuna, and it wasn't foggy, but it was the rain. Like it was a misty rain, and you couldn't see.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was wet enough. I had to wear the raincoat.
Yep.
But you couldn't see 300 metres.
Yeah, it was about the same.
Yeah. What did they do before GPS?
Just wing each other.
No, you couldn't. I mean, we were out a fair way, and you couldn't see.
Yeah.
You just follow the trail back in. It's easy. But what did they do? It was probably before my time. Wouldn't hope for the best.
Ooh. That's how it went.
Yeah. Actually, Friday morning was a bit like that because my good mate Michael was he was on the golf course at Sereno, and he said he's never heard the foghorns in the bay going off. So anyway, we're getting yelled at already. We're over time, folks. Let's have a look at what's being caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by SHIMANO.
Let's kick it off with a couple of local shots. Over in Western Port, the gummy sharks continue to fish very well. Ash Kaisenberg got this lovely 15-kilo gummy shark in Western Port. That's a very lovely fish.
Quietly one of the best gummy shark seasons we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Is that unusually long and thin?
It is, isn't it? Would you say a season though, Ads? Because they're almost year round.
Yeah, but we've seen, I think, a big spike in people targeting them.
Yeah.
It's got a nasty necklace.
All right, let's head to Melbourne now. Yellow belly in Albert Park Lake. They just never cease to amaze. Have a look at this. Shane Bardsley. Well done, Shane. That is a cracking yellow, isn't it?
Nice fish.
Yeah.
When's Albert Park Lake going to feature in Hotspots?
Hotspots? Not tonight.
Every week we get a yellow belly and catch it.
And obviously these guys know how to fish them. I mean, there's a certain time of day and certain lures and all that sort of stuff. I think you've got to know how to fish them and where to go. But certainly the guys that have worked it out, it's just sensational.
They catch them nice for you. Yeah.
Sensational.
Yeah. Well done.
Out on out the rip, Neil McKenzie got out there last Wednesday, and have a look at this. Neil got some very lovely Southern Bluefin Tuna offshore out of the Rip.
Nice fish.
They're all right fish, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's been a real mix, like from that 10 kilo through to 30 kilo, I'd have to say.
There's been a few in there too.
Now, Trelly.
Yep.
Is this the first time you've been on Catch of the Week?
Once I think I caught something else once.
Did you? Yeah,
Catfish or a
Well, let's have a look at this. Trelly, you took your manager out, Chris.
Yep.
They're lovely fish. They're good size.
Yeah, big thank you to Chris on Gorn Fishing Charters. Yeah, he thought it was wonderful because we were catching these fish and he goes, no one can see us. So they all don't come in and bombard the back of your boat, type of thing.
Yeah.
So it was good condition. But
How many did you get for the day?
I think we landed I was like 18 or 20 for the day. But it was really good. Like for me who gets seasick and to get out there and do that sort of stuff.
You don't get out in the salt water too often.
No, that's right, yeah.
Locally anyway.
And the fish we took the fillets home and they were great.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I had to Google how to cook it and all that type of thing, which is always good.
Did you have some sashimi first?
We had a little bit of sashimi,
yep.
Oh, it's beautiful stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, it's one of the best, yeah. I tell you what, one of the charter guys who absolutely, in fact, this charter operator described last Friday is the best day ever he's had in Bass Strait. The best day ever, which I reckon is a pretty big call.
It is.
But they were trolling for tuna, obviously, and every second fish was a kingfish and every second fish was a southern bluefin tuna. But let's have a look at some of the kingfish that Sharkmen fishing charters got last Friday.
They're not little kings either.
They're not little kingies. So I think we've got another shot of a couple more. They're good fish.
Yeah, they are good fish.
Now they are on the troll amongst the tuna.
Yeah.
They're getting kings.
We've seen a few more kings pop up the last few days too.
Yeah, but not in their traditional numbers in the Rip. Like in that deep area of the Rip where, and I know Matt Senior was in there today
having a look
on a charter and didn't find fish. Or that I saw anyway. I mean, this morning I know people
so
saw
60
that.
centimetres is the starting point for a kingfish, isn't it? So and they're like well over that.
Oh yeah, easy those ones. So
nice
as well as those beautiful kingfish in the Rip, Sharkmen fishing charters also got some beautiful southern bluefin tuna. Let's have a look at these. So that's a chunky model there.
Yeah.
On the same troll last Friday, as Rob Missy said.
That's not bad
the
fishing,
best
is
days ever had.
When
in
you're not
Bass
sure if
Strait.
you're going to get a tuna or a kingfish.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Not bad.
And another shot, Rob himself holding a couple there on
They're good
your
fish.
left of screen if you're looking at it, but they are chunky fish. So well done to Rob. And a place that we're going to talk about later on in the show, Trelly, is Nagambie, fishing quite well at the moment.
It is.
I want to know the ins and outs of Nagambie later on.
Yep.
So have a look at this. Carolyn Blomley, her first yellow belly at 47 centimetres. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Would that win a caravan at Nagambie, Go Fish Nagambie in a few weeks?
40 centimetres probably would. I think 56 I think won a camper trailer.
Yeah.
But still it was like a $30,000 camper trailer.
Yeah. It's up there though. Wonder whether Carolyn's joined Go Fish Nagambie, the big comp that's coming up. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on
She's
too.
just practising, I think.
Yeah.
47.
Well, do you reckon a lot of people are doing that, doing a pre-fish and a practice fish? We talked about it today at work.
They should be.
Yeah.
They are.
Is that people are going to go, hey, I'm going to go and suss it out. Like, whenever we fish tyres, we got there a day early,
that's right.
Try and suss the place out and that sort of stuff. And
It's like doing the golf course before the golf course, isn't it?
Well, I heard there was a big cod caught out of there today.
Nagambie.
Yeah, in the 90s. Low 90s.
Did you hear that, did you?
Yeah.
Might have a picture next week for you.
Oh, there you go. If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au. Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
And Chloe Malloy just there didn't kick a goal for Collingwood last week.
Racking up W's.
What?
What are we on now? 1-1?
No, I think Collingwood won, didn't they? They beat Carlton. They
That's
beat
all
Carlton
that
on the
matters.
weekend. They won, so they're doing all right. Collingwood are probably going to be hot favourites, but Chloe didn't kick a goal, so...
No, she's too busy dominating all over the other ground. Got to give someone
there
else
you
a go, Dave.
Coming up next, Fisheries news including how 2 cars were seized from some very greedy anglers. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause Every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See you down at Tackle World today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Fisheries news, boys, is a bit on, I can tell you.
Some naughty boys.
Have a look at there. This is amazing. That it still goes on with all the publicity that it gets. It's just amazing. Headline is 2 cars seized for undersized snapper hauls. 2 cars and illegal hauls of 119 undersized snapper were seized by fisheries officers at Port Melbourne following the apprehension of 4 men last Monday night. Crazy. Upon arriving at the scene, fisheries officers, they got a call from 13 Fish. They conducted surveillance to identify the 4 men. They were aged 18, 39, 42 and 53. They were from Preston, Thomastown and Roxburgh Park. 2 of the men left the fishing spot in a Pajero and were intercepted shortly after by other fisheries officers nearby who had been called in. A search of the Pajero revealed 47 snapper, all undersize. Unbelievable. Upon approaching the other 2 men, still fishing from the rocks, officers allegedly saw them throw 3 fish into a rocky crevice. They were retrieved and found to be undersized snapper. During surveillance, officers observed the men return to the car park, so suspected that there were more fish in the vehicle. However, the duo did not admit to owning a car and said they had travelled by train. It's the sort of thing you do, Trelly. A search of their identification and a registration check revealed a Holden Astra belonged to one of the men and was in the car park. I think he's deep now.
The plot thickens.
The man then allegedly admitted to owning the car, which was found to contain 72 snapper.
Far out.
All undersized. The fish measured between 17.9 centimetres, I've got a photo here actually, and 27.4 centimetres. Is that sad or what?
I mean, why would you go for the milk bar? You should go for the bank, shouldn't you? Like, why are they picking on such small fish?
It's bad
If you're going to do something,
119 undersized snapper.
what's the point of it?
I don't know. I mean, what would you do with them?
Yeah.
What they do, throw the legal ones back.
You got their names?
I haven't got their names.
It's really ones back.
But there's 2 blokes that if you see the Pajero and the Astra missing,
Yeah.
it's Pajero.
Wait,
and,
You won't
Yeah,
get-
an Astra.
You
Is
won't
it
get
an Astra?
parts for that in another 10
Yeah,
years.
that's right.
did I say an Astra?
an Astra.
Oh, you hold an Astra, yeah, so they won't get parts, yeah. They're not making them anymore, are they?
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
In what, 10 years?
10 years, they're going to only make parts
Oh, they
for
have to do
Holdens for 10
parts.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
Unlike snapper.
Anyway, 2 people, they'd have to be embarrassed. Hastings
They are,
Boat
yeah.
Ramp, boys. Hastings Boat Ramp facility is getting an upgrade. That's the headline. Mornington Peninsula Shire is hosting a drop-in session on Thursday, the 27th of February. So that's not
Next
this Thursday, but the following Thursday, for the boating community and other interested stakeholders to learn more about the plans to upgrade the Hastings Boat Ramp. The Victorian State Government committed to funding upgrades at 6 priority locations across the state, including Hastings, as part of its Better Boating initiatives. Mornington Peninsula Shire Council is managing the project and has developed designs for an improved ramp. The Shire is currently seeking the necessary approvals to progress this project. The drop-in session will take place at Mornington Peninsula Shire offices, which is 21 Marine Parade in Hastings, between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 27th of February. So if you want to have your say, you want to have a look at the designs
They've been working on
before
that
they
for a
even
while,
start,
haven't they?
only 2 years. Yep.
Why don't they have a free, bring your trailer and we'll give you a trailer load of sand off the boat ramp day?
What for?
Well, because you always talk about sand on the boat ramps.
You're not at
One
Hastings,
way to
though.
It's
It's mud.
It's like, oh, it's mud, is it?
You know, and the ramp
Well, it's
doesn't...
probably better if you
And
go.
at low tide, it doesn't even reach the mud. They got some fixing to do at Hastings, I tell you. But anyway, the next one. Here we go. So the 31st annual amateur whiting challenges on, hosted by the Western Port Angling Club. The major prize is valued at over $10,000, and that's drawn from all competitors. So you just need to be in it to win it. A boat, a trailer, and a motor. Thanks to the great sponsors. It's on Saturday, the 29th of Feb, through Sunday, 1st of March. The heaviest 2-day bag wins a painting. We're going to show that in a minute. The first King George whiting weighing 1 kilogram or more wins $1,000 cash from Paul
It's due to
Wilson.
go off, surely.
Yep. Senior male, senior female categories, 2 junior categories, early entry, random draw prizes, plus 10 random draw prizes from all competitors. They raffle off beer, they raffle off prawns, and I'm told that there will be a marquee set up that'll have the new Hastings boat ramp display.
Hope they've got a
there
permit
as
to
well.
raffle their
So
beer off.
Not sure about that.
Because
But
I've been in trouble for that before.
guys, have a look at this. I ran this through the rain and the hail today.
Oh, look at that.
That
There you
is
go.
that is
That's pretty cool.
Is that a
That is
skin?
the hand. What?
Is that a
no,
proper
it's
skin?
just a hand painted print. Oh no, well,
That's
it's
insane.
original. It's original. We had the one on last year too.
Because it,
by
paint's got, like-
Bridget Thomas. There you
Yeah,
go.
glitter, isn't it?
And that is what the heaviest 2-day bag wins. So over the 2 days, your heaviest bag wins this original painted by Bridget Thomas. Bridget does a fantastic
Yeah,
job.
the colours
is
on
nice.
it. The
It is
colour
nice.
on that is insane. It's
amazing.
All the white parts.
There you go. Yep.
If you want us to sign that, just send your
I don't
comments
reckon-
in.
I don't think Don would be too happy if we did anything. In fact, I was going to do a runner.
I'll sign it on the glass.
I was going to do a runner with it under my arm over to the studio
That's- yeah,
tonight.
that's
a little
pretty
better
nice,
not. I
actually.
covered it up
Except for the
well.
hailstones. Get past them.
Hailstones put a dent in the frame.
Well, so
As
you were the
we're
guy
running.
just waiting under the bridges, holding up the traffic
I,
light.
I did.
did
5
too.
minutes I was under the Flinders Street
Yeah.
Bridge tonight,
I
coming into the
sent you a
studio.
message. It's hailing here at the studio.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was, though.
All good. All right, and have a look at this for a last bit of news. Native fish stocking. I tell you what, it's all happening. The boys, you know, the bushfires are out.
Yep.
It's rained, and Victorian Fisheries Authority are doing this. I'm going to read out some highlights here. Broken Creek, 30,000 Goldens. Lake Eildon, 41,000 Goldens, but they got a lot more today, I'm told. Green Lake, 15,000 Goldens and 10,000 silver perch.
There you go.
Lake Hume, up just to the right of Albury, 180,000 Goldens. Wimmera River, 80,000 Goldens, 50,000 silvers. Crusoe Reservoir, 20,000 silvers. Forest Lake, 10,000 silvers. And Victoria Park Lake in Shepparton,
Yep,
got
4,000.
4,000
Have a look at
silvers,
Epilogue.
Trelly.
Have a look at Epilogue. What's that? 200,000.
Where's Epilogue? Oh, yeah,
it down?
200,000 Goldens.
200,000 gold.
Lake Hume got 180,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Insane.
yeah, that's
Big numbers.
bad. That's, yeah, great fodder for the cod.
Silvers versus golden, Trelly, tell us the difference.
Silver got a lot more bones and they don't taste very good.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to catch them.
But do people prize them as a catch, though, at all?
Nah, they're just
Because they're
rats.
stocking a few.
Yeah, I know. They're just annoying.
What are you going
Just annoying.
to promote a bit of what was going
Goldens
on.
are much better eating.
And
you can catch them.
I think 100 and something thousand of Murray cod went into Lake Eildon today as well. So
Yeah, right.
just didn't
Yeah.
get that news quite through. But there you go. That's fisheries news.
Yep.
We wanted to chat a bit more about Lake Nagambie,
Yep.
Trelly, because the big Go Fish Nagambie, and we'll start getting the ads up pretty shortly
Yeah.
in the next few weeks.
Yep.
But that's held, I think, early April.
The weekend before Easter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so
it's
first
about
weekend.
the 3rd or 4th of
First weekend in April.
Of April, yeah.
People can still enter Go Fish Nagambie, but
Correct.
tell us a little bit about the event.
Look, it's the richest freshwater event in Australia.
Wow.
There's something like 500. I think last year it was like $500,000 worth of prizes and giveaways and cash included, but I think it got to about like 650,000. Biggest Murray cod, $80,000 cash.
Fuck, that's a lot of
And
cash.
the guy that won it last year was a bricklayer concreter from Albury, and before they got the event, they worked out. You know, 2 guys in the boat, they worked it out how they're going to spread which was really a good story. Might get him on one day, but it's a phenomenal thing. We were there at the setup, and look, the guys from the promotional company that do Go Fish Nagambie, David Webster, and all, it's like they come in and they just set it up, and it's like Lee Kernighan's going to come on stage.
Yeah.
It's just mad good. It's just really, really good. Very well catered for. There's a little bit of a change in the actual structure of the venue and that this year. We'll be running the There's one shed on the whole property, and we've secured that shed as a tackle shop.
Yep.
Which will convert into a bar at night time.
When you say a property, what is it in a caravan park or what?
Yeah, it's part of the caravan park, so it's a little sort of a peninsula within a lake.
Yep.
Where the rowing club's on one side and the entertainment centres on the other side. So so it's going to be big. We had a ball last year. We really did have a ball last year. So it's going to be fun again.
People didn't go last year and they want to go this year. What about accommodation? What do they do?
Panic.
Yep.
Well, there's plenty of camping areas. They're opening up new camping areas up there.
Yeah.
They got a lot of feedback last year about a little bit of noise, families with kids and stuff like that. So they're catering. They're sort of they're doing the right thing and trying to cater for everyone's needs and things like that. Accommodation around the town would be probably pretty tough, I'd say.
Yeah,
to
so
get a new
people were
accommodation.
booking at the end of last year's comp
Yeah.
this year already. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, as soon as the word come out, like it's going to be this date, it was like bang. And you rang around town, I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But and a lot of people had standing sort of bookings. It was like, we were here last year. As soon as it comes out, I want the same booking. So a lot of people kept the same with the B&Bs and a few little houses around there, and motel units and things like that. So
And the actual lake system itself. So does the Goulburn River run through it?
Correct.
Yeah.
So
is it dammed either end or anything? Or is it?
It's dammed at the bottom, which is below Kerwin's Ridge. It's a fair way down from the Gambia where it's actually dammed.
Yeah, okay.
So you've got a lot of the lake system below the actual. When you drive into the Gambia, the lake's it's on your left-hand side, but that's a long way up from where it's actually the structure is for the dam. So then once you get above that, there's some big water that goes through a couple of Mitchelton Winery and up through there, which you can actually on any occasion. You can drift down the river and trawl for cod or whatever, and you can walk up the bank to one of these magnificent wineries and have your lunch and chuck back in your boat and away you go. Yeah. So it really is. It's more than a fishing destination. It really is a leisure sort of destination.
Yeah. Nice.
And they're aiming to do that. They're aiming to sort of pull people to the area for the experience and use fishing as the experience. As we know, it's a great experience.
Yeah.
Look, it is. It's a wonderful weekend. It's a lot of effort by local fishing clubs involved in the Gambia. The fishing club with Wally McCubbin and all those blokes are sort of there. So very well put.
If you want food, were they stalls and stuff, or
they
take
had
your own,
stalls. They had little pizzas going, and they had smoked brisket, and they had all sorts of things happening there. So really good fun.
Very good. Go fishing again. We'll be talking about it in the next few weeks. Coming up next, product of the week. We're going to show you some of our favourite whiting rods. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Now, Dave, you mentioned the Western Port Whiting Challenge, which is very quickly sneaking up on us, so we thought we might delve into the wonderful world of whiting rods this evening. Bit of an upgrade from the cracker we had last week. Now, listen, it was your choice last week, by the way. Now, it's very hard to show a fishing rod on television, I must admit, but these whiting rods are quite special because we spent a lot of time as a group, Trelly, you being involved as well with your stores in the saltwater sector. We spent a lot of time and effort coming up with the perfect whiting rod. Now, it's very hard to find a rod that will do absolutely everything, and we have a very unique fishery because on one hand, we have basically a very low, slow tidal pool in Port Phillip Bay, and then we have a very tidal swamp in Western Port.
Correct.
Both fish extremely well for whiting, but both demand different gear as we need to upgrade in sinker sizes and bits and pieces like that. So we all got together as a Victorian group, including a few other Tackle World stores around, and we have come up with this neat little range of whiting rods, which Shimano helped us out with. There's the Prowler series, which consists of a nibble tip and also a straight through standard tip for deep water application, and then there's also a graphite nibble tip there as well. Now, Dave, you probably being the most experienced whiting fisherman out of the three of us. Yeah, listen, I did the same. That's the fiberglass version. Now, I admittedly use it more for bream fishing than I do whiting fishing, but it is multi-purpose in that regard. So it's a fiberglass blank all the way through until you get to an interchangeable graphite tip.
Yep.
The reason for that, we needed something that was durable, especially in Western Port where you're dealing with up to
I don't know if we can do a wide shot there.
Well, dealing with
7
weights
6
up to 3 and 4
we can go a
ounces.
3 shot. There you go. And I tell you what, I mean, I was out on Saturday after tuna fishing. We caught some very lovely whiting.
Yep.
Because we didn't catch any tuna, and I got 2 big banjos on this rod, and it just holds the weight.
Yeah.
For such a small graphite nibble tip.
Yeah.
This
And I think
stands
that's
the
the
test,
key.
I tell you.
And that was the reason for the
and look at
graphite.
the curve. I mean, I'm putting a bit of, I'm putting a bit on that now.
It's got a red tip on it. What do you call that? The excited dog tip?
That's called an orange tip.
Orange tip.
orange
Call
tip?
it. Yep.
No worries.
But the reason for the glass and graphite combination, the graphite gives us a sensitivity in the tip. Whiting can be really funny on the tube, a bit like yellow belly. They can just muck around with it before they really commit.
These actually work on yellow belly.
Yeah. So this one's, we designed this because the boys in Western Port said too fine a tip.
Yep.
This one here, and I'm giving it a bit of stick, full fiberglass.
Yep.
But a lovely, you can hang 3 or 4 ounces of lead off that.
Yeah, well,
no problem at all.
And fishing in deeper water for whiting's been a bit of an in thing for the whiting over the last few seasons in particular. And if you fish vertical, you can fish up to 6 ounces on it. That you've got to be careful, but you can do it. Like tip, while you're fishing vertical, so you're generally got the rod in your hand the whole time. And that, Dave, is
this one here.
That's probably the most responsive out of the lot, and I think that's why this becomes the most, I guess, versatile. Trout fishermen love it.
You put a 1,000 reel on this, and you have got
the lightest
whiting combo on the market.
They're all interchangeable tips because if something's going to go on a nibble tip, it is going to be the tip. Now that's a true 30
pull the tip out, Trelly. That's very easy. So you can pack the rod up quite easily too. And this is actually a three-piece. So you have a look at that.
So true 30-ton graphite. It's very light. Great for that. Well, Dave, you were fishing 1 metre of water on the weekend.
1 metre of water getting lovely King George
so
whiting.
you can fish ultralight, still have an absolute ball, because whiting do make a good account for themselves.
Yeah.
But 3 rods that we're very proud of. We spent a lot of time putting them together. A few tweaks and changes over the years as we continue to learn about our own fishery. And that's the range as it sits at the moment. So whether it's the Western Port Whiting Challenge that's coming up, we've got Nagambi, that as a carp and yellow belly rod, which all count towards your points and all have their own prizes in their own right at Nagambi. It'd be wise to come and check them out because there is a rod there that suits all of our own waters, designed for our own
One of the
waters.
things I was amazed at, this was the first of the range, which is the 7'6" nibble tip.
Yep.
At our big whiting talk on last Wednesday at the Frank Snaracell, and Paul Worsing came along because Paul actually designed the first
original,
model of that.
correct.
And said him and Christy, they'd been in the shop not so long. They bought it off Greg Duncan. And Paul said, we designed this rod because we just felt there wasn't anything in the Shimano range that was perfect for King George whiting.
That's right.
And he went on holidays and he came back and the rod had arrived, and you had to buy it in 100 of them. And he just picked it up and he said, this is the most perfect rod. And apart from 3 colour changes, nothing has changed.
No.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Right. And it's amazing how they double up, like you say, Ads, as far as, us guys up there, we're chasing yellow belly and things because it really is sort of finesse fishing for yellow belly, and you get that feedback, and sometimes, I'll even take that tip out. Sometimes you've got a little bit of pressure on your rod tip like that with just your flow of water and your bait on the bottom, and sometimes your yellow belly fishermen will look for the up in the rod. Rather than the down in the rod. Because the yellow belly's picked it up and taken weight off the bottom. So that indicates that. So it is a good freshwater alternative to some of your finesse fishing for yellow belly.
Definitely.
So there you go. The Shimano Whiting Prowler range. Check them out. Trelly, want to go on the next subject that I've got here. Trelly's tuna fishing.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about it. So you went out last Wednesday on a charter boat.
I checked the weather with the guys, with Chris, and they lied to me. just to get me out in the boat.
What'd they say?
It's going to be fine. Don't you worry about that.
It was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. Actually, it was probably, for most people, it was pretty good. There was a couple of people on the boat who did throw up, so I felt pretty good that I didn't. But,
so there'd be a lot of people watching that haven't been tuna fishing in Bass Strait. I mean, people go down to Portland. I think it's very, very different at Portland. It's very, very different at Bermagui, but very different going out through the Port Phillip Heads or the Rip, as we call it. And tell us about what style of fishing you did, what sort of lures, what happened?
Well, we did. We went out through the Rip, and we went round to the right because, like I say, it was foggy. We went around there for didn't seem like very far, and we put eight of us on the boat, so we put 8 rods out, and we're trawling along, and the Jono, who's the decky, one rod went off, and he puts his hand up and he goes one, and another bang, another one, and within going another 100 yards. All the 8 rods are sort of hooked up.
8 rods?
8 rods hooked up, yeah. So I was like, and I was sort of standing back saying,
we've got a snag.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a lot, guys. Yeah, this is pretty. So, I sort of stood back and I said, we sort of jumped on a rod each, and so we're all on. And there was a little bit of teamwork around. It's like, up over this one, down over that one, and but that one is looking at the line. You're going like this, and and took the focus off the seasickness, which was really good. So we actually landed the whole 8, which was excellent.
It's a good effort.
Yeah,
that's
it was
a good
really
effort.
Yeah, but I couldn't get over that. There was 8 different lures. There was 8 different lures.
What'd you have on?
Oh, we had the little skirts, like little 3.5, 4 inch skirts.
Yep.
And then we had what I thought was a trout lure. And then we had a big Halco.
Wait, what do you mean a trout lure?
Well, it looked like a trout lure.
Like a Tassie Devil or something?
Yeah, no, not quite. It was more like
a little hard body.
A little hard body was with a deep diving bib on, something I'd use at the Eildon if I want to get down deep.
Yeah.
And then we had a Halco on there with a diver. And then we had one of those triangular shaped vibes on another one. And they just, I reckon it could have thrown a clothes peg.
Triangular shaped vibe.
Yeah. I reckon it could have thrown
that's the freshwater version.
I know what you're talking about.
You could have thrown a clothes peg in, I reckon, and caught a fish, I reckon.
Yeah.
But it was great.
Normally when you run a clothes peg, would you run a treble or a single?
Treble, actually.
Treble.
Yep, because I have got clothes pegs rigged up with trebles. Just for fun.
8 tuna.
8 tuna, but we did that twice. Then we did another one with we only had 7 rods out because one got tangled.
Yeah.
Or 2 got tangled, and I managed to get one back in the water. So, and it was just, it was really good fun. It was really good fun. I wasn't in the fun mood because I was sort of trying to look for the bank. And I couldn't see for fog, and I'm just like, my eyes going up and down. I'm going, oh, juice. So, but look, if you're going to do some trout, if you're going to do some tuna fishing, do it now. Because you don't have to go out so far, you don't have to travel.
That's a good point, actually. Good point.
And if you're going to be sick, just get your head in the right mode and just go and do it because it is great fun. And cooking, like I hadn't cooked fresh tuna, so I got a couple of recipes. And Johnny Jinkai gave me one. It was soy sauce and honey, just into sugar cube type sizes. Yeah. They're kind of beautiful. Yeah. So experiment, do it, get out there, fish it.
There you go. Trelly's tuna tips. Coming up next, Kramer's mailbag. Plenty more on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Plenty of mailbag, boys, and the first one's going to refer over to you, Trelly.
Oh, very good.
Oh, this will be good.
Come on.
Hi, guys. My name is Tim.
Tim.
Yep, Tim, so remember that.
Monty Python.
Is that the only Tim you know?
2.
And I would love to say that the show is great and what you all have done for fishing is incredible. I would like to ask if there is any way that you can help all the fishermen that are duck hunters as well.
Oh.
All right, here we go. The government is taking their time. The government is taking their time to make a decision on a season. Any chance you could mention to the Premier or the Minister. Oh, they're not here.
Perfect answer
But
for us.
you'll be with them soon. That as fishermen, we also are passionate about duck hunting, and we'd like to enjoy our sport. Love to hear from you. Cheers from Tim from
this is gonna be
Gisborne.
good.
Tim.
What is going on with duck season?
Tim. Shh. Right. Duck season is gazetted. It's by law through Parliament gazetted to be the third Saturday of March every year. They don't have to announce a duck opening. All they have to announce is a change of bird limit to take, or they have to announce a change of season length if they shorten at the other end. Other than that, it's a legal document that's gone through. And
You must have a duck season.
Must have a
And-
duck
and it
season.
must
It's
be on
done.
that date.
It's done.
So you don't want any noise.
No any noise.
Because if you tell the Greens,
Yeah, tell them.
Bankers.
I nearly said cocky. So if you tell the Greens, right, they'll jump up and down about it. So don't mention anything. And it's gazetted the third weekend in March, and it's just going to happen.
all right,
There you go.
What'd you call them?
bankers. We normally stick to bankers. We don't get in trouble for bankers. Been told by the management you're allowed to call people bankers. Which rhymes with. Hi guys, great show. I watch it every week. I was wondering if you knew when the golden tag fishing comp thingy is starting. It seems to me that the fishing minister is keeping it a bit hush-hush at the moment. That's from Corey. Corey, you're dead right. It's a bit hush-hush because they are busy tagging 1,000 fish ready for the comp. But the other thing is, boys, you've got to understand, I think a week and a half ago, the Brodrip, I think it's called, the
Broddy, yep.
Broddy river that flows into the Snowy upstream from Marlow, it went pear-shaped with ash, and they had a bit of a fish kill, not too big.
Yep.
Malakuta, still a little bit untested because they haven't had a lot of rain there to wash the ash in.
Yep.
So there's, they're not going to tag fish and then have them
Yeah.
floating with $10,000 tags.
Yeah.
So a little bit of testing of waters, a little bit of time needed.
Stay tuned.
I'm also told that the northeast, a lot of the fish are in the hatchery at Snobs Creek ready to go, so they will be stocked with tags, but obviously the saltwater are not stocked fish, so they need to be caught with a line and hook and tagged, and there are people out there doing it as we speak. So you're going to get the Gippsland Lakes, you're going to get Lake Tyers, Tamboon, Marlow,
Malakuta.
Marlow, Sydenham.
The Midder.
Oh yeah, then up north, the Midder. There's a few other. I'm not too familiar.
Ben.
And Bem.
Sydenham, that's
Yeah.
Sydenham.
So plenty of estuaries in Gippsland. We're going to have. I can promise you people at home that the second it's announced, it'll probably be live on our Facebook page. So
Nice.
and it's not too far away. The date is booked, so it's not too far away. I know the VFA on their Facebook page gave some hints that just get ready, people, because it's going to be announced soon. And the first 10 fish, the 10 first tagged fish, $10,000 each, and then after that, every fish is $2,000.
It's pretty good.
Pretty big,
Up
yeah.
to,
Pretty
I think,
good.
about $500,000. So,
it's pretty good.
we were in, so week before last, I think we were in the surf shop at Lakes Entrance. I was buying a pair of shorts, and the 18-year-old girl behind the counter said, what are you guys from out of town? Yeah, we're up on a fishing trip. She goes, are you coming back for the $10,000 fish?
yeah.
Like everybody's
pretty
talking about it. So
There's not
it's
just
good.
one too, which is great.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Brad writes to us, Trelly, I don't know if you can help us out on this one. How's the minister's
Help you again.
review into the RFL scheme? Any decision when she intends to make it public?
Sorry, what was that the question there?
The minister's review into the RFL. There was a recreational fishing licence review last year that was meant to be announced before Christmas. Not sure where that's at. Do you know?
Yes.
No?
Yeah, I'm not too sure where it's at. I know it's been done. It's gone to the proper people, the minister, as far as it goes. But I'm not too sure of its progress there. But all the questionnaires went out. A little bit of research went behind it, or a fair bit of research went behind it. So it's one of those 10-year ones that comes up and it gets
something
reviewed.
different.
It's something different, is it? Yeah. So yeah.
Nailed it. Don't know, mate.
That's all good. No, this was the other review. There was another review, a big one. The regulations are every 10 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's not... Yeah, so that's something off.
Anyway, we don't know, but we're going to find out, aren't we?
I'm confused.
We'll find out. Okay. Now, I've come prepared for the next one. All right. And then I reckon I'm going to celebrate. This is the 100th mailbag.
Oh, right.
On the same subject.
Might get a tagged fish.
What, 5 years we've been going? We've been going 5 years.
Might get a tagged fish out of your postal box.
No. 100 times we've been emailed. This is from Craig. Right. It says, can you guys, not Richie Minnow, Craig. Well, I found out today he's still alive.
Richie.
That's good. Richie. Well, good to see. I heard he's on the board.
His missus? Chloe the Blowy or whatever her name was?
I think they separated.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
Didn't live up to a name.
Oh.
But, no, but I've heard that Craig is on the board of the radio station. You know that radio station we used to do? But anyway, well done, Craig, Richie.
Well, Richie Minnow did live up to his name.
This is from Craig. He says, can you guys please date stamp your shows so that we know if it is a repeat? Well, I can tell you now this is live, except when you're watching it when it's repeated. Right?
In winter,
so
we see it again.
That's it.
I got prepared, right? I've got this. I've printed this on the printer today.
Yep. Is the date right?
Dated.
I hope so. And I got some gaffer tape here, so I'm going to do this. So this is about as high tech as we get at Channel 31. No, boys, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna
on the bar window.
I'm gonna put it on the bar window, and every week, if I can remember,
Change the date.
I'll print out a new one for the date. If I don't know if I remember too well, because I've got a mind like a sieve. But anyway,
Product of the week.
We are going to satisfy Craig.
Boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Close up.
There you go. There's the date. We're going to date stamp every show.
Oh, God.
I
Something else to think of and muck up.
The best technology that we've got at Channel 31.
Guarantee you on the repeat, Kev edits that out.
He wouldn't, would he? All right, I've got no idea how long we've got to go. Someone will yell in my ear.
Probably over.
Are we over?
That's how we roll.
Do you think?
Yep, see, over.
What do you say?
We're in break time now.
Oh, we're in break time. Okay. If you'd like to write into Kramer's mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
We got a new bloke on the earphones tonight, and he sounds like Michael Bublé. Coming up next, the all-important hotspots for this weekend is going to be cracker weather. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots. Get on 'em, it's where the fish are.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing, the all-important hotspots. This weekend I've been... This is what I hate, right? Is when you look at it early in the week and it's all green. All the arrows are green. By the time you get to Thursday, they're all red. I hate that. Does anyone else hate that? Anyway, Heidi at the back of the camera, she's going, I hate that. Yeah.
If Albert Park Lake's not this, I'm boycotting hotspots.
It's not. All right, number one, let's have a look. Kings and tuna. They will be out and about, I'm telling you, this Saturday, out off Point Lonsdale. Head out to about 25 metres. That's all you got to do, isn't it, Trelly? Yep, 25 metres off Point Lonsdale. When you come back in, like me, and you haven't got a fish, then you head up the shipping channel. This is what you do. This is what you do. Seriously, you head up the shipping channel. You turn left just before the fort. That's called the Pinnace Channel, and you follow that all the way until it's about to get deep and there's all these weed beds, and there'll be another 30 boats sitting there guaranteed. And either tide is fishing very, very, very well at the moment for King George whitings, boys. So there you go. That's for all the people that fail on a tuna on the
I've never
weekend.
heard of this next one.
Well, I just thought I'd throw a few
Curveball?
a couple of different ones in. Yeah. Have a look at this. Blake's Channel,
Where is
southern end of French Island. It runs off Gardner's Channel.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know Gardner's.
Blake's Channel is a little channel that runs off Gardner's Channel, and at this time of year fishes very, very well for King George whiting. Do you know who told me that?
Risky call?
I don't know.
Steve Johnson?
No. I don't think he's boat. Oh, no, he reckons he can fish in 2 metres, Steve. Yeah.
He gets it done, don't
I
worry about
reckon he
Steve.
might have another. But a place that Steve does love going to is the next one, the Tenby Channel. King George whiting up the Tenby as well. So
Nice.
Fishing.
Couple I've never heard of too.
Huh?
New ones, these ones.
Yeah, 2 new ones. Yeah.
Tenby goes all right.
Yeah.
Well, people need to find somewhere different because the Western Port Whiting Challenge,
Yep.
put on by Western Port Angling Club in 2 weeks' time, people need to do something different. If they want to get that 50 centimetre fish,
Yeah, the
or they
kilo
want to get
fish.
the biggest.
Kilo fish.
Yeah, the kilo
The
fish,
magic kilo.
or the 2-day bag and win that beautiful hand-painted picture of a whiting.
You got to have a few options.
You got to have options. You got to get away from the crowds, Trelly.
That's right.
All right, let's go inland now and have a look at the hotspots for inland. Lake Ngambia is the next one. People need to get up there this weekend if they want to get in their practice session for the
Go fish Ngambia.
For the Go Fish Ngambia, then they need to get up there and
just suss the joint out.
Yeah, absolutely.
They really do.
Yeah, it's
That could make the difference.
fishing. It's fishing well. It's fishing well at the moment.
And it's fishing.
Do they look at that competition around the moon at all?
Well, I think they. No, I don't think so. But this year, it's going to fall on a date which is a week before Easter. It's the best time.
Correct.
It's the best time you can have a fishing competition. Like,
was it the same time last year?
No, it wasn't. It was in. It wasn't the same time. But this time of year,
That's good.
Easter, that week before Easter, it fishes
You're
mad.
right.
Freshwater fishes mad.
Yeah, right.
It's really good.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah. All right, and lucky last, if you want to catch yourself a bass, if you're not that good at bass fishing, there's a place where you're guaranteed to get some good bass because they have really stocked this place well over the past 15 years, I would have to say. The restrictions are gone. It's a great place to fish. Blue Rock Lake. Get down there for some nice bass.
Yep. It's
There you
been
go.
fishing, and it has been fishing very well this season with fish over 50 centimetres, which
Yeah, that's a good bass.
and not just one.
It's a
that's
cracker.
That's
Yeah.
a cracker.
Yeah.
All right, there's the hot spots for this weekend. Now, a subject I want to talk about, boys, similar to we were talking about you going out the rip.
Yep.
I was talking to Rob Mizzy today from Sharkman Fishing Charters, who's been very successful on the tuna the past few weeks. And in fact, I'll go back to Saturday. We were out there. It was about 300 metres visibility because of the rain. It was like a very misty rain, and it was blowing 20 knots, but there was no swell. So it was. We felt quite safe. We're in a fairly decent sized boat, and I was frustrated because I saw all these fish caught on Friday, and we can't even sound a fish on Saturday.
Yep.
Now, from a visibility point of view, I could only see about 4 or 5 boats out.
Yep.
And when it cleared a little bit, still only saw 4 or 5 boats. So I rang Rob. And I said, mate, where's the fish? And he goes, we're already back in.
Yeah.
Where are you? And I said, I'm about 10 Ks out from the rip.
Esky.
Yeah, I'd gone out
Where's the fish?
past the Barwon Reef and, we're about 10 Ks, I reckon, from the rip. And he said to me, you better get back in. The rip's starting to look a bit ugly. And okay. Now, we knew on that day, even though there wasn't a strong, there was a strong wind but not a lot of swell, but there was a very, very strong outgoing tide.
Yes.
So you're going to have the swell, the small swell, against the tide, and if there'd have been a bit of wind behind
So it stands up quite easily through.
absolutely. Now, by the time we got in, I've got to say the rip was very, very sloppy.
Okay.
Right, we were okay, but I knew that there was boats out there that were 6 metre trailer boats,
Yep.
and you just go, geez, if they're going to come in the next hour, that could get ugly, And I'd, God, hope, touch wood that no one goes over in the rip, because it's treacherous, So one of the things Rob said to me was, this is his advice, and I think charter boat operators, it's going to be hard to read this thing, but anyway, as you boys said to me during the break, how can you read this? But there's a course that Marine Training Services over in Geelong hold, and it's called Passenger Operations through Port Phillip Heads. It's a course, and he said, do yourself a favour. If you fish outside the rip often, you should go and do this course because they will teach you about different weather patterns, different swells, different wind directions, different tides, and different ways to approach the rip. Now the rip. If you've ever fished there and fished and actually gone out through, there's parts where you go from 75 metres deep up to 14 metres deep.
Yeah.
It's treacherous.
I can sort of relate this. A good way for me to relate to this is I did track days on Phillip Island with a motorbike.
Yeah.
And I had when I got there, I had this much room for error.
Yeah.
And then when I left the course, I had that much room for error. And I was going faster.
Because you knew a bit about it.
Because I knew exactly how to handle stuff and what to look for and all that type of thing. Applying that sort of experience to that I would say that's a very, very worthwhile course to win, especially if you're
I know nothing about them. I've never done the course myself. But Marine Training Services in Geelong, passenger operations through Port Phillip Heads. He said, doesn't matter, you don't need it, as a recreational operator.
Yeah.
But do yourself a favour and go and do a course like that. So,
especially with family in the boat, all that sort of thing. I'd say that's a very good thing.
And people are dying to catch a tuna that don't want to travel down to Portland or go up to Bermagui or whatever, because you can get them in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, you can go on a charter boat. You can go with Rob and Matt Senior and guys like that, but if you're going to do it yourself and you're going to take a risk on some days, then best to know a little bit about what you're doing. So there you go. It is going to be a big weekend. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Like I said, some cracking weather heading our way this weekend, boys, and into early next week as well. Some really
those tuna will be there. Get them.
Not heat waves, but really nice calm weather. So
get out there.
Absolutely.
It's great.
If you're not out there having a go, then you're not going to get one. So until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.